Hello, Noisy here. Today I'm going to show you something I hope what will be very interesting and I hope useful for you. Basically, instruction how to set up own password, how to set own password. And the reason why I'm recording this video is because right now, actually, of course, you can change your password on Steam network, for example, with the Steem website, but the problem is that basically, maybe I'll show you this, this password can be only generated, right? So for example, if you are going to change your password, you go here, and you need to of course provide old password, but you do not have a possibility to set own password. Password can be only generated every time when you click generate, new password will be generated here. So there is a reason for that, and I described everything why this is done like that. I described everything in my post. This is secure way, but actually things can be even a little bit more secure and more user friendly to use. For example, because those passwords have some cons. For example, they all generated passwords from Steemit follow exactly the same pattern, and this is a problem because if you will expose your password by accident, everyone will know that this is actually a Steem password, and you can lose your account then very quickly. And maybe another reason is that maybe you do not want to trust the Steem website, Steemit website, that generated password was generated randomly and wasn't stored anywhere. So actually there are possibilities to set own password, and I will show you this today how to do that. And I prepared a script which interact with the Steem blockchain, and during this video I will change a password of account called Noisy3. This is my testing account, and this is my real current password to this account. And of course I'm not afraid of showing you this because I will change this password, and actually before publication I will change this one more time, so this will be no longer a valid password. But I want to show you everything that basically how this works, right? So this script could be a little bit shorter, but I think it will be easier to explain this when the script looks like this. Let's start first with proving that this is actually my current password, right? And we can do that with a few different ways, of course, with the trivial way, like trying to log in with the password, but we learned from previous articles that we can do something more fancy. Basically, we can check, we can take this password, and we can actually, this is here, so I will copy this, copy, paste, and here I will generate keys for this account. And basically everyone can do that offline. You do not need to have an internet connection to generate keys. And you, for example, with those keys, you can basically make sure, check that those keys are active. Because, for example, when you go to the steemd.com website with to the proper section of your account, here you have section like authorities, and as you can see, those keys, public owner key is exactly like this, exactly like this. Those keys are matching, and basically this is how Steem blockchain checks that you have the authority to actually push some data to the Steem blockchain, right? And I will also show you that actually I can login to website with this password. So copy. No. And as you can see, this works. Okay, so let's now change a password. But before changing a password, we have to actually choose which password I will set, right? I need to figure out what will be my next password. And of course I could say like test 123, but that would be a very stupid idea, because that would be very trivial password, easy to guess. And yes, I can set so short password here, but I want to recommend you, actually there are a lot of pages like this. I can show you, for example, page which can help you measure the strength of particular password. So let's first measure how strong the password test123 is, and as you can see, entropy is 21 bits. It's very, very low, very weak. We have here legend. So to have a comparison, let's check the strength of the typical Steem password, which is generated by Steemit during registration. And as you can see, this password is very secure. This is 271 bits. If this number is greater, then this means that this is better. Of course, but as I said, such password has some flaws, that every password has exactly the same structure, length, and it's easy to check. So first thing which I would recommend you is actually generate some password, and how you can do that. So basically, a lot of passwords managers has such features, and I strongly recommend to actually use a password manager because that is the very secure way. And of course, this is not only a matter of storing; you also need to have backups of those data, those passwords. But what I want to show you, basically this is like the current password, right? But a lot of password managers has a feature to generate new passwords. Like, so I can, for example, generate password like according to specific pattern, or use like pre-existing requirements like short password, or maybe this password, right? So I can check, and that would be very secure. Everything which is much higher than this number, those number of bits of entropy, is very good. Okay, but what I want to show is actually something how to make those passwords more user friendly, because during actually our life, people try to figure out how to make secure password, and actually secure password do not have to be hard to remember, because if you use the certain amount of completely random words, like English words, then actually this is much easier to remember, because you can try to imagine how this password would look like, and those passwords actually has quite good entropy. So for example, a lot of cryptocurrencies wallets use such technique to generate seeds from which passwords, private keys are generated. So for example, from this website you can generate some random words, and let's check how that would be, how strong that would be. Very strong. But actually we do not need to have such strong password. We may want to have something what is easier to remember, maybe 6 words, right? Okay. And this password will be not slightly, this is a weaker password than this generated by Steemit. But still, this password is still very, very secure. And the great thing about this password is that you can actually memorize it. And you will not need to copy it from place to place, because every time when you copy a password, then this password is placed in your clipboard, and you by mistake can actually paste this password somewhere like in this example, and this will be exposed. But this will never happen if you will memorize your password and type every time. But of course, before I will set the password, so this will be my current password. First thing we should always do is actually you have to first save this password, make sure that it's already saved, right? And I'm setting this here, and this will be my new password. The interesting thing is that yes, I can have spaces here in my password. Okay, so what next? Now I will show you how this actually works, this script, but I will do that in two stages. In the first stage, I will not run this whole script. I will like uncomment those lines, and the reason for that is that actually I want to stop here and also go step by step through all the program to show you how this works. I hope that this will be very additional for you, and later I will run the script from the console, what will be probably the way how most people will do. But basically, if you do not understand how this works, probably you should not do that right now. The script is mostly for programmers. Interface can be written and added above that. But yeah, let's start. Right, so I will set the breakpoint here, change password, script, debug. Okay. I really like debugging. This shows great what is happening. So as you can see here, we have a state of current variables, right? And here we generate old owner key. Why is this needed? Let's first generate that, and this owner key is generated from the account name, from old password, and we also use this function, and we say that we want to generate owner type of key, and we need the private type of it. And we want to have this as a string, not like an object. So let's go here, and we have owner key. And why this is needed? Basically, this owner key is this is private, right? So if I will go, for example, here, permissions, owner. As you can see here, you actually do not even have a way to generate the owner key, private owner key on the website, but you do not need to have it on the website, but you can always do that here. But why this is needed? Old owner key, private owner key, because this type of key is required later to actually sign the transaction. Give me a second. As you can see here, we provide to the Steem library owner key, and later when we sign a transaction, we finalize the transaction, the library know that this key is available and this key is used because this particular operation, account update, requires private owner key. Okay, so let's go further. So here we generate like an object to Steem library. We need a public key dictionary, new public keys dictionary. This is just a container to simplify the whole process. As you can see at the beginning, it's empty, and later we go through loop, and in that loop keys are generated, new public keys, because we generate 4 types of keys for an account, my account, from new password, right? And every time we do that for the different role. For owner, active, posting, and memo. So for owner is already done. For active, and so on. So 4 times. I do not want to go through all that. I will move directly to that step. Oh, even a little bit farther. And as you can see, we already have all new public keys generated, and we went even a little bit farther from like this also was executed. And what we are doing here is actually we generate the structure which will be uploaded to the Steem blockchain. Basically what Steem blockchain use to actually do new transactions. Basically you send the dictionary like JSON data, and we basically need this kind of structure, and I even printed it here. So this is actually how it looks like. And why I showed you this, I will explain in a second, but basically that would be it. Next, what will happen would be actually committing a transaction. So we already know how this was generated. Let's try to actually run this completely. So I will run this, I will uncomment this here. Okay. But as I said, I will run this from the command line. I'm here, this is the script which I'm going to run. This is exactly the same location. Okay. So what do we need? We did need a Python, and we are running change password script. We need to wait a little bit. We're waiting because of 2 things. Generating keys takes a few seconds, and also this transaction is now broadcasted, and new block has to be created by the witnesses. So this also takes a little bit, and as you can see, result means that the transaction was successfully uploaded and executed by the network. And okay, so let's check what happened. So first, let's refresh the website, the Steemd. This shows the latest transaction. As you can see, 40 seconds ago, we did some action, update account, and we can do show details. As you can see, what we do, we actually, this is exactly the same structure. Of course, showed a little bit in different way, but we actually uploaded, for example, active key, and this is exactly this, right? Also, this state should be also reflected here. So new active owner key, for example, starts with SMT 7GR active. Yes, to its owner, right? Owner here and here. This is all much. Also, the same can be checked on the SteemDB website. I need to refresh it. Okay, 1 minute ago, and this is also exactly the same. Okay, so what next? Next, I can show you that actually the password works on the website. But after you changed here, you should be actually ensure that this worked. Okay, before I will log in, I need to warn you that last time when I changed the password, I'm not sure, but I think Steemit website has some cache. So if that would not work from the very first time, don't worry, just clear the cache. So okay, we are copying the password. So as I said, don't worry, probably this is a cache. Last time when I did that during testing, this just started working after a few seconds, but I will do that in the incognito mode where cache is no longer there. Okay. Noisy 3 and copy. Yeah, as you can see, this works. Let's check one more time whether here this also works. I need to copy this one more time. But if I would, for example, clear cache past to be honest, I was surprised when I realized that this does not work immediately. And dive deep into the code. You can wait for a second, but basically, as I showed you, this works on the without cache. Let's try one more time. Or maybe actually I will, yes. Close and open the browser. This is exactly the same instance, but it's a fresh one. Not this website, Steemit. And as you can see, it works. So don't worry if that would not work immediately. If keys were replaced and what we can check immediately after an action, then you will see that on the Steemd or SteemDB. Later, what you should do, you can actually check if everything works on the private tab. And next, you can clear your cache or turn off and on your browser, and everything should work. Okay, that would be all. I hope that everything that was helpful for you. I will upload this video and I will put this in this blog post. If you like it, please upvote it, please follow me, because very soon I will publish more information about how, from basically my Steem security series. So I hope that this will be very helpful for you. Thank you for your time and attention. See ya, bye. Noisy.